All right, so today we will be working on lab number 9. We got 4 tasks in the lab number 9, and the main objective of the lab number 9 is to create a score feature in the game. So score feature means, for example, if our cube, like this cube, if it hits the red cube, what we want is we want to display a score here. And for example, if it collides with any of the red cube, it will start incrementing that particular score. So how we can do that? In order to do that, what we need to do is we need to add a text element, which is basically a user interface. So we need to display a text here, which should display a score whenever the player collides with any of the red cube. So how we can do that? In order to do that, first of all, you need to get to the bottom of your hierarchy where you have all the object. Right click here, and let's add a user interface, a text. If you see, the user interface is basically it's the user interface. The canvas is basically the main object, and the text is the class of the object. I mean, the child of that particular class. So what we want is text. If I slightly zoom out and if I show you where the text is, it's right here. And if I just name it to the, let's say, score text, and let me just display 000, for example, and let's slightly increase the size to 50. Let's make it 40, for example, or let's make it 10 for now, or 20 for now. And let me show you, if I slightly show you in the game, let's see where the number is. If you guys see, this is basically the number which is displaying down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually change and apply few customization to this number. So we will go back to the scoreboard. Sorry, the game view, back to that. And let me just slightly increase it. Make sure when you are doing this, you have selected the rect tool, because once you do the rect tool, then only you can apply all these things. So number is right there. So let me increase the font size to 50. It's better now. And let's say it's right in the middle. If we put it on the top, let's see how it looks in the game panel. Still right there. Okay, so I am gonna move this slightly, because let me see the canvas. So canvas is the boundary, so you can actually place within the canvas. So slightly, let's move it down here, and let's go back. It should be center. Let's see where it is right now. All right, so it's kind of right here. Let me slightly move down. All right, it's still not exactly the center. Slightly move here, and let's move into the center and all the way. Let's see how it looks now. Moved on the right side now, so let's move it to the left. It's fine. I think it's better now, better than of course previous, but still, if we slightly move it here, so I believe it will look now much better. Slightly move here. So you just have to adjust the position if you don't use the script. I think that's the ideal position, where we have right in the middle. And let's change the color. It's the black color right now. If I scroll down, and let's change the color to let's use a white color. So I'm gonna make all these 255, 255, 255. So let's get the white color. So it's now the white color. Let's go back to the game and see. Yes, great. So right now what we have done is we have added this text, score text, which is not being incremented, because when I hit the collectible, or you can say the red cube, still it is not basically incrementing my score. So in order to make it incremental, we need to write a script. We need to create a script, and that particular script, of course, we need to connect that script with some other script. So whenever it hits that, it will start it will start counting it. It will start adding the score. How we can do that? So let's go to the scripts, and let's create a new script. Let me create a new script here. Okay, right click here. Let's create a new script, create, and let's create C# script, and let me name it score. And I'm gonna assign this score script to this text. So let me drag it down and drag and drop it onto the text. You will see here in the text, score text, we do have a script here where nothing has been assigned. We're gonna work on that. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is we'll open this score script. Since we have used a user interface for the score, so we need to add a new library here, which is basically for user interface. So I'm going to add a new library, system unity engine and .ui. So this is for the to use the user interface library. And let me just for the testing purposes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new variable, and let's add a new variable. Let me we don't need basically this start function method here. We need an update method. Why we need an update method? Because we want to update the score, so we will use only update the score after each frame. So I am going to add a new variable, public variable here. Sorry about that. Public variable, and variable is, for example, it's going to be a text, and let's name it score text. Okay, so I've created a new variable here, and let me just add int, just for the testing purpose, my score. I've created a new variable, my score equal to 1. I mean, I just want to try that if we can pass the values here. And an update method, let's update the score, I mean update the value to 1. Let's try that. So score text, text or text, okay, tab equal to text dot, let me just use text equal to my score. My score, if you just add my score here, which is integer, so basically it's going to give a problem. Why it's going to give you a problem? Because this score text is basically it's basically a string. You cannot pass integer in the string, so I need to apply a method here to string. I need to apply this method here to string, so it will convert it into a string. I mean, it will pass the value. Sorry about that. What is this? Score text dot text, and let me just my score dot to my score as is small, so my score dot to string, so it will pass the value here. So my score dot string, perfectly okay, everything is right here. Use expression method, where of the score dot text method, okay, that's fine. And next let's save it, and let's see if it display the score number 1, and if it can basically add the score. Let me just add the score all the way, and let me just create a new variable, public void, and let's add a new variable score, and in that I'm gonna pass the integer score, which is 1. So it will, what it should do is it should increment my score. So my score, you can do my score plus plus, but let's do my score is equal to my score plus score, my score plus score. So it will add the score value. So let's try that if it worked that way, and if it displays the 1. Let's try. So let's save the script. Let's go back here. Script has been applied, and let's play the game. It is showing 1 1 1 right here, so it should display my score. Let's see. If I go back to my script again, into my score doesn't make any difference, but let's try. And this is gonna be my score, and that's gonna be my score as well. My score is equal to score. Let's try. Okay, so we just saw that. Let's play the game. Score 0. Okay, I got it. So basically, nothing is wrong with our script. I think script is fine because I don't see any problem in the script here. Let's save the script. I think we didn't assign the text, like the score text, to the script. So in the script, of course, we have created a variable, and that's basically score text. But score text has not been assigned. So we need to, because this value is 000, so we need to assign this value to this script variable. So I'm going to drag it and put it down here. Perfect. Now I'm gonna save this, and now if we play that, it will apply whatever we wrote it. Perfect, it got it. So if you see, I have passed the value 1, so it has started with a 1, and right now it is not being incremented. Why it's not being incremented? Because it is basically colliding the red cubes, but the problem is it's not collecting. I mean, it's not basically incrementing the score. So in order to get it incremented, we need to make adjustment, customization in the player script, in the player collision script, in fact. So what we should do is we will open the player collision script. This is the player collision script, and we need to connect it with our score script, like this particular script. How we can do that? In order to do that, firstly we need to create a variable, a score variable, and then we will assign the script, like the score script, to that variable. So what we're gonna do is we'll go down here and we'll create a new script. Okay, let's name it public variable, name it score, and name of the variable is score. Perfect. Now I'm gonna save this, go back to the game, and in the game what I'm gonna do is I'll go to the player script, click the player, scroll down. If you see, a new script has been created for score, and here I need to drag the text onto the score script. So this particular text, like this score text, I'm gonna apply it down here. Perfect. Now it has been connected, but still we did not enter the counter. So in order to make the counter here, what we need to do is we need to go back to the player script, and the player script where we are colliding. Okay, so right here in the trigger window, they were colliding with each other. And if the game object is equal to collectible, then destroy the other object. Perfect. What we're gonna do is we will add our score variable down here and add to the score. So let's add score dot add score, score dot add score 1. Okay, and then rest of the stuff is exactly the same. I'm gonna save this. Now what's gonna happen, whenever it will hit with the red obstacle, it will add to the score, like this variable, and this is basically called right here in this variable, in this particular function. So in this function, what's gonna happen, whatever my score is, which is 1, it will add the previous score. So whenever it collides with the red obstacle, a score will be added. So let's try. Let's go to the game, let's play the game, and let's see if it works the way how we ask it to do. If you guys see, perfect, we got it. You guys can see here it had started adding all the score whenever we hit the red cube. If you see, if we hit the green one or any other, it will not add the score. Let's hit any other. You guys can see no score is added. Whenever you will hit to the red cube, it will start counting the number. Perfect. One more thing which I would like to show here, because we started with the 1, so why don't we go back here and make it my score is 0. Start with 0, save this, so it should now start with 0. The score is 0. Perfect. 2, and then of course 3 and all that. Perfect. So this is the way how we actually add the score to the game, like a score feature. One thing which I want to show you down here, if you see right here, we have used the font Arial. You can of course apply any font if you want. For example, let's say I want to add a new font. So there is a website, you can download any font. Let's say DaFont. This is one of the website, DaFont. Go to DaFont and you can apply, you can find any font. You guys can see here there are a bunch of fonts. Let's use just for the showing purpose, of course. You can please try to get your own, like whatever the font you want, whatever the font if you want. Let's say if I want to use a font, let's see if I want to use, let's use this Happy School. So let me download this. So of course, in order to extract that, you should have to download, or you should have a WinRAR installed in order to extract that. So what I'm gonna do is, these are the fonts I'm going to extract to under the downloads. Let me extract them. These should be extracted. If I go to my downloads, and under my downloads, this is the fonts. These are the two fonts. Yeah, let me select these two fonts, this one and this one, and you can drag them to your Unity, and let me just put them here. Right here, I just put it down here, but we can do one thing. We can go to assets, we can create a new folder here, and let me name it fonts, and I'm gonna put my fonts down here. Okay, so right now my fonts are under these, so I'm gonna select these two fonts and put it inside the fonts directory. And now if you go to fonts, and let's say if you go to score, here we have Arial, so you can apply this font to down here. Now this font has been applied, you guys can see here. This is basically how you can change the font. You guys can see here, whatever the font you want. I mean, you can get a Spider-Man font or whatever the font you like to have in your game. Got it. So that's it about today. If anybody will have any questions, any concerns, please send me an email. Please submit your lab 9. We have done all the things that are required. In the next lab, we're gonna do one more thing, and that's basically the we'll create an interface like game over kind of thing, and we can actually create some other stuff, of course, in the next lab. So see you guys in the next class. If you have any question, please send me an email.